Okay, friends, before we dive in, I have some really exciting news for you. And that is that Digital Course Academy is officially open for enrollment. This program is my pride and joy and has helped over 20,000 online business owners create, validate, market, and scale their digital courses. From creating your course and providing a single solution to a single problem, to your first course launch, no bells and whistles necessary. Side note, a profitable first launch, I'm talking like high five figures, needs so much less stuff than you're probably imagining. Now, I want you to go beyond five figures, but that first launch, it's important that you get it out there. And then we're only going to go up from there. And then finally, relaunching that course now that a vast majority of the work is already done, and growing your launch revenue is as simple as making a few tweaks or adding one or two new strategies. It's all about the relaunch, creating one digital course and launching it over and over again for consistent revenue. I'll show you exactly how, click by click, step by step, inside Digital Course Academy. So go to amyporterfield.com/enroll to join and make earning revenue with one digital course so much simpler. amyporterfield.com/enroll.
When I launched my course in February of this year, my goal was to have 10 students. My final number was 67 students, which is insane. I made over $44,000 in that launch, which is, again, I can't even believe it. I launched the course again in June, and I had a much smaller class, mostly because of our industry. That's a whole nother story. The landscape industry is busier in the summer. I learned my lesson. Smaller group, I had about 23 students, but still made about $15,000. So with the two of those classes together, I already made more than my annual salary at my full-time job, which is pretty exciting.
I'm Amy Porterfield, ex-corporate girl turned CEO of a multi-seven-figure business. But it wasn't all that long ago that I lacked the confidence, the budget, and the time to focus on growing my small but mighty business. Fast forward past many failed attempts and lessons learned, and you'll see the business I have today. One that changes lives and gives me more freedom than I ever thought possible. One that used to only exist as a daydream. I created the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast to give you simple, actionable, step-by-step strategies to help you do the same. If you're an ambitious entrepreneur or one in the making who's looking to create a business that makes an impact and a life you love, you're in the right place, friend. Let's get started. Real quick, I wanted to tell you about a podcast that I think you should take a listen to. It's called the Side Hustle Pro Podcast. It's hosted by Nicola Matthews-Akome. And this podcast is part of the Hubspot podcast network, the audio destination for business professionals. The Side Hustle Pro Podcast showcases diverse entrepreneurs who have scaled from a side hustle to a profitable business. And I talk a lot about side hustles on the show, so I think it complements what I talk about as well. So you can learn actionable strategies and different tips to start small and get going wherever and whoever you are. Nicola shares her real and authentic depiction of what it's like to side hustle while working a full-time gig and the emotional roller coaster of building a viable business on the side. Honestly, it's like being a fly on the wall of two girlfriends discussing their journey of turning their side hustle into a profitable business. I love episode 355. It's called She Turned Her Cash Budgeting Brand into a $1 billion business on TikTok. And you know I'm a sucker for all things TikTok. So listen to Side Hustle Pro wherever you get your podcasts. Hey there, friend. Welcome back to the Online Marketing Made Easy podcast. Today, we are getting into the final Mythbusters episode. But don't worry, I'll still be releasing Tuesday episodes. We're just going to go back to them being more personal, behind the scenes. I usually share every Tuesday what's working in my business, what's not working, what I'm struggling with, all that good, bad, and ugly of building a business. So next Tuesday, we'll go back to that. But today, we are going through our final Mythbuster. Now, if this is your first Mythbuster episode, basically I've been sharing the 5 most common reasons people hesitate or don't move forward with creating a digital course. And I've been sharing student stories, my students who have struggled with one of these myths and how they overcame the myth to get success with their digital course. I'm on a mission to encourage and support as many people as possible in creating a digital course business because I've seen firsthand how life-changing and business-changing that can be. And I've seen it firsthand, of course, in my own business, but with thousands of my students as well. So the 5 most common reasons people don't create a digital course. Number 1, I don't have the time. Number 2, I'm not credible enough. I need more education, more experience. Number 3, my audience is way too small or I don't have an email list. Number 4, I don't have enough content to put into a digital course. And finally, it's too expensive to create a digital course or I can't invest in a program to help me create a digital course. I don't have the money. So that stops people in their tracks. Now, first and foremost, I want you to know that while I understand that these concerns are valid, they feel very real. In fact, I've had every single one of these thoughts on my journey of creating my digital course business. But I also know that they are myths. They are not true. They are excuses and they are rooted out of fear. That I know for sure as well. And so over the last few weeks, I've addressed every single one of these myths on my podcast, but this is the last one I'm going to address. It's too expensive to create a digital course, or I don't have the money to invest in creating a digital course. And I want to talk about that. In this episode, I'm sharing a story from one of my students who just might inspire you if you are hesitant to start a digital course due to financial concerns. Maybe you think it's too expensive, or the fact that if you have a digital course, you have to quit your job, which means you won't be making money from your job anymore. Which is not true. You don't have to quit your job. Or maybe you're concerned that you won't get anybody to buy your course. So then your return on investment isn't there. Like, I get it. These concerns pop up. It's very natural. But my student, Lisa Nunamaker, has proven all of these things wrong. Lisa is a teacher who also had a side business for over 10 years. Her business is called Paper Garden Workshop, and she teaches garden design and landscape graphics to budding designers around the world. When she first found out about my program, Digital Course Academy, from one of her friends, she was really excited about the opportunity to create something amazing, and her mind started racing with ideas of what she could create. But she admits that although she had a head full of ideas, she was concerned about the cost of investing in Digital Course Academy. It's $2,000. That's a lot of money, right? And she needed to make sure that if she took this leap of faith, if she invested her money in this program, that it would make sense financially for her and her partner. So Lisa sat down and she crunched the numbers. She realized that, you know what? If I can sign up just 10 students, then DCA would be well worth my investment. And she then felt excited and courageous about going for it. But I love that she set a goal. Look, if I can get 10 students, I could make up my money of investing in the program and then some, and she'll be golden. So in February 2021, she enrolled in Digital Course Academy and she launched her first digital course called Garden Graphics Toolkit. And I love this part of the story. She launched even though her course wasn't totally finished yet. And she said that's very unlike her. And Lisa, I totally get it. You want it to be perfect. She said she had anxiety about launching something before it was done, but she knew she had to go for it. And as a side note, in Digital Course Academy, I teach my students how to literally launch their course and make money before the actual course is finished. It's a strategy that I want you all to try. And so she followed my strategy and she had amazing success. So remember how she crunched the numbers and found that if she just enrolled 10 people, she'd make up her Digital Course Academy investment, which meant she has a course, she charges $200 for it. And if 10 people buy it, she's already paid for Digital Course Academy. So like anything over that would be gravy for her. Well, are you ready for this? If you're multitasking, come back to me. I'm going to blow your mind. She enrolled 67 students and made a whopping $44,000 in sales. What? I mean, come on. This is the stuff that I live for. Now, if you do the math, you can tell that she did not charge $200 for her course. And this happens a lot when people get into my world. I teach you how to decide on the price of your course based on the results you're promising, the type of course you're creating, how you're positioning it. So she ended up charging more for her course because she knew it was worth more. She sold 67 students into her course with a whopping $44,000 plus in sales. That is incredible. But Lisa wasn't quite done. She went on to launch the course a second time, which I teach you how to do. I don't want you to just create this course and launch it once. I want you to launch it over and over and over again. So she launched it again, generated another $20,000, and she quickly found that her students wanted more. So she decided to start a membership on the back end of her course, something a lot of my students do over time. And she generated another $8,800. So let's just hear a little bit from Lisa about how this all unfolded for her.
So a year ago was when I joined DCA, and the main thing that was holding me back at the time was the cost. I wasn't sure if I should make such a big investment, but with some number crunching, my partner and I decided it was well worth the investment. All I had to do was get 10 students, and I felt very confident that I could do that. So I took the plunge, and it was worth every minute, every penny. When I joined DCA last fall, my email list was at 4,500 people, and that list had grown slowly and organically over the last 10 years. Basically, the main reason why it happened is because a writing agent suggested to me many years ago to make my book proposal at the time, make it a lead magnet so I could grow my platform. It was the best advice I ever got. The biggest takeaways I got from DCA, number one, is that my course did not have to be created, nor did it have to be perfect to publish it. That was awesome. The other thing is that I loved creating my course while I was in the class. That was a big, big, big sell because I've taken many classes, but this is the first class I've ever taken where I came out of the class with something impactful that I could actually use. This course also finally gave me the skills that I needed to fulfill my dreams as an entrepreneur. Even though I'm still working full-time, I do teach full-time, so it's a pretty flexible schedule. The fact that I can now start to build this business on the side is amazing. So DCA started to give me those tools that I needed to create and start and finally flame that dream so I can keep going. It really gave me the momentum and propelled me forward. When I launched my course in February of this year, my goal was to have 10 students. My final number was 67 students, which is insane. I made over $44,000 in that launch, which is, again, I can't even believe it. I launched the course again in June, and I had a much smaller class, mostly because of our industry. That's a whole nother story. The landscape industry is busier in the summer. I learned my lesson. Smaller group, I had about 23 students, but still made about $15,000. So with the two of those classes together, I already made more than my annual salary at my full-time job, which is pretty exciting. So now I know I can keep going and building this, which is just awesome. My first class was so awesome. They wanted to stick together. So we also created a membership. And so now I have a back-end membership that also has generated about another $8,000 so far. And I have ideas for additional memberships that I would love to do.
So you may be wondering how much money you could make off of a digital course. And I always love to walk my students through their course profit potential, similar to what Lisa did to give her the confidence that she needed to take that leap and enroll in Digital Course Academy. So if you want a deep dive into how to find your course profit potential, I want you to listen to episode 596. So amyporterfield.com/596. And the title of the episode is What's Your Digital Course Profit Potential? And I'll walk you through it. But just to give you a quick example, you start to think about how much money you want to make. So with Lisa, she's like, if I could just make $2,000 and cover the cost of DCA, I'm good. But maybe you want to shoot for a little higher. Like, I would really like to make $10,000. So let's say you wanted to make $10,000 and you charged $500 for your course. That means 20 people need to sign up and you just made $10,000. Like that is incredible. 20 people is very doable when you follow a model, when you have a plan, when you're growing your audience while you're creating your course. Very doable. So if you want to run through your own course math, go to amyporterfield.com/596. My goal is to help my students get their ROI back as quickly as possible. That's important to me no matter what your financial situation is. So if you're thinking, it's so expensive to create a course. Number one, Digital Course Academy, yes, is $2,000. Yes, we offer a payment plan and we only offer it once a year. So time is running out if you want to get into the program. But what I'll tell you is that investing in Digital Course Academy and learning how to use technology and software and different tools that will not break the bank so that when you create your digital course, you're going to do it in the simplest way so that you do not have to invest a lot of money. That's part of what I teach. My goal is to save you as much money as possible. And most of my students who get into Digital Course Academy do not have a bunch of money to throw at this. They are on very tight budgets. So we're going to create your course in a way that will not break the bank, that will be using free tools so that you don't have to invest a lot in order to make a lot with your course. And here's one more thing I want to mention. You can absolutely go on this journey alone. But there is so much power in investing and learning from someone who has gone before you, who has been in the trenches and knows what works and what doesn't, someone who's willing to lay out the entire framework and teach you step by step instead of you hunting and pecking all around the web, trying to pull the pieces together, not even knowing if you're learning from someone who has had success. My sweet friend, it will take you so much longer if you try to do this alone. Trust me. I've seen and heard this time and time again. My students wish that they had enrolled in Digital Course Academy sooner. So let me be your guide. If you're listening to this in real time, Digital Course Academy is officially open for a limited time. You can create a business beyond your wildest dreams, and you can do this from scratch. I will virtually hold your hand through the process step by step. And who knows? Lisa was able to blow her goal out of the water. I want that for you as well. I believe in you. I know that you can have an amazing digital course. You probably already have a few ideas, and if not, I can help you come up with the best idea to get started. To learn more about Digital Course Academy and enroll before the doors close on September 28th, head to amyporterfield.com/enroll. That's amyporterfield.com/enroll. I hope to see you there. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you on Thursday for more entrepreneurial goodness. Bye for now. When it comes to running a successful business, nothing matters more than generating revenue. But generating revenue comes down to more than just closing deals. It's tracking down leads and forecasting growth and whipping up reports and managing contracts and creating content and crunching numbers. The list goes on and on. Now, can you believe Q4 is around the corner? I can't. So there is a better way to win here. It all starts with the new Hubspot Sales Hub. With Hubspot Sales Hub, your data and tools and teams are fully linked inside a smart and highly customizable platform that feels good to use. The sequences and the smooth workflows will help you streamline tasks and spend more time on what you do best, which is connecting with your customers. So with Sales Hub, generating revenue becomes easier. Try it for yourself at hubspot.com/sales.